From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, June the 25th, 2020. We open with a report that meetings in Washington this week on Israel's possible extension of sovereignty to parts of the West Bank have not as of yet led to any decision from the U.S. administration as far as backing Israel or not on such a move. Reuters reported that a senior U.S. administration official told them there is yet no final decision on next steps for implementing, referring there to the U.S. peace plan. As we reported to you, U.S. Ambassador to Israel David Friedman, along with Special Envoy Avi Berkowitz, held meetings over these last few days with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Senior White House Advisor Jared Kushner, and others on the issue, which the unnamed source said were productive, but that Friedman and Berkowitz were now heading back to Israel for further meetings and analysis. Earlier today, United Nations Middle East envoy Nikolai Mladenov warned that Israel applying sovereignty to parts of the West Bank could open the door for more conflict in the region. He told the press in Jerusalem that if Palestinians feel that there is no prospect of a peaceful resolution to the conflict, that only creates opportunities for radicals. Mladenov yesterday was among those taking part in the virtual session held by the UN Security Council debating the issue. Today, terror group Hamas threatened Israel that taking such a step would be a declaration of war. A spokesperson for Hamas's military wing, Abu Ubaida, said, "We will make the enemy bite his fingers in remorse for this sinful decision," referring there to annexation. Israel's Defense Minister Benny Gantz responded during a speech he made today in front of newly graduated IDF pilots, telling the terror group, "I suggest that the leaders of the movement remember that they will be the first to pay for their aggression if it happens." The IDF, he said, is the strongest army in the region, and the price for any attempt to hurt Israeli civilians will be painful and forceful. Abu Ubaida's speech, by the way, according to Hamas-associated media, was given today in honor of the anniversary of the kidnapping of IDF soldier Gilad Shalit on June the 25th of 2005. Shalit, if you recall, was held by Hamas for over 5 years until the 2011 prisoner exchange, in which Shalit went free and Israel released over 1,000 Palestinian prisoners. Abu Ubaida praised the kidnapping in his speech, calling it an immortal day of power and glory. Reports today also that the head of the Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, recently visited Jordan and met with its leader about the issue of Israel extending sovereignty. Jordan has expressed its strong opposition to Israel making such a move. Israel's Channel 13 said Yossi Cohen was in Amman to deliver a message from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Jordan's King Abdullah II on the matter. Well, here on JBS, we will have more for you after this newscast on this issue when Mark Golub speaks with former Israeli diplomat and now JBS Senior Vice President Shachar Azani, who presents the arguments for and against Israel's applying sovereignty to parts of the West Bank and explains why the issue has surfaced now. Jewish organizations welcomed the decision by the government of Kosovo designating Hezbollah in its entirety as a terror organization. Last year, Kosovo designated the terror group's military wing only as a terrorist group. But after a proposal by its Foreign Affairs Ministry, the Republic tweeted today that it supports all global initiatives for peace and security in the world, and so unanimously declared Hezbollah, its political and military wings, a terrorist organization. Hezbollah, based in Lebanon, is backed by Iran. The differentiation between the group's political and military wings allow for it to continue to operate in many countries around the world. CEO of the American Jewish Committee, David Harris, lauded the decision by Kosovo, tweeting the countries who also have made this declaration, which include Israel, who continues to deal with the threat from Hezbollah at its borders. Harris asked in his tweet, will EU and especially France follow your bold example and declare all of Hezbollah a terror group? B'nai B'rith International tweeted their appreciation, urging the EU as well and all countries concerned with peace and security to follow suit. A new Israeli animated short film was honored at a prestigious film festival in France. Cinema Rex was given the Canal and Youth Award at the Annecy International Animated Film Festival, the first time that an Israeli film has won a prize at the annual event. Cinema Rex tells of a famous movie house that was operated in Jerusalem in the 1930s during the British Mandate that sat between Jewish West Jerusalem and Arab East Jerusalem and was the only cinema house co-owned by an Arab and a Jew. The story is told from the perspective of a Jewish boy and an Arab girl who become friends through their discovery of the magic of movies. The film was co-directed by Mayan Engelman and Eliran Peled, who said, "We believe in the power of film and in coexistence, and we felt that we could express our optimism better through the perspective of children." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, June the 25th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud study. At 8, historian and author Gil Troy discusses the future of Zionism in America from the 2019 American Zionist Movement Biennial Assembly. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with Klal leader Brad Hirschfeld on L'chaim. At 10, Julie Budd hosts the 2019 Brooklyn Jewish Hall of Fame ceremony. And coming up next, as mentioned, Mark Golub is joined by Shachar Azani, who presents the arguments for and against Israel's applying sovereignty to parts of the West Bank. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, June the 25th, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.